Assalamualaikum Dr. Talani. My name is Nur Nadhira Sofea binti Suhaimi.
Assalamualaikum Warahmatullahi Wabarakatuh. My name is Amiza binti Affandi from HM1114A.
Assalamualaikum Warahmatullahi Wabarakatuh. My name is Nurul Fadzhianti binti Jollkepli from HM1114A.
Assalamualaikum Warahmatullahi Wabarakatuh. Today, we are from Group 5. We'll be presenting about impact of a price floor on the market. What is a price floor? Okay, if the market price is too low, the government will establish a legal minimum price for the market. Thus, the price floor is going to be set above the equilibrium. This price is fastened to avoid price fall in certain conditions. This is because the government wants to prevent the prices on particular goods and services from falling below the minimum level and also prevent producers from being paid very less price. In addition, this price floor will keep the producers in the business. Typically, the floor price is set especially for agriculture or food sectors. It is important to protect farmers at the event in prices of commodities for too low in a free market so that our domestic food supply intact. For instance, the price of paddy is usually fixed at a price above the equilibrium price so that the income of farmers is protected. The concept of a minimum wage rate is also one of the floor price. Wage is the minimum payment made by employers to workers to guard employees against exploitation.
Mr. Burns. Summary of microeconomic issue. Microeconomics is the branch of economics that studies decision-making by people or a single individual, household, firm, the industry of allocating resources, and the prices of trade goods and services. One of the most persistent microeconomics issues that arise is that the people that were not even related to the transaction are affected, which is an economic decision that can leave external effects. For instance, the power that was produced by coal will create pollution in the air, which is the acid rain and global warming.
Next is we will discuss about impact of floor price on market. Government sets a price floor when it believes that the producers are receiving an unfair amount. A price floor is enforced with the only intention of assisting producers. However, the price floor has some disadvantageous effects on the market. There are several impacts of a price floor on the market, which is number 1, surplus. At a higher market price, producers increase their supply. In contrast, consumers' demand for the commodity will decrease, and supply surplus is affected. A consumer surplus is when someone pays less for something that they are willing to pay, while a producer surplus is when someone sells something for more money than they were willing to sell it. For example, when we cook a meal, we usually plan to cook enough for everyone who plans to sit down and eat it. If we cook too much, we will still have some left after everyone eats as much as they want. The remaining food is our surplus for the meal. We can package up and store the leftovers for later. We can also drop by our neighbor's house and offer some of the surplus food to them.
Minimum wages may actually increase unemployment by providing firms with less motivation to hire and more incentive to automate and outsource services traditionally undertaken by low-wage workers. The minimum wage is the legal minimum wage that employers must pay their employees. Those who work minimum wage jobs, according to advocates, can afford to keep up with the rising cost of living. Many are living below the poverty line. Almost every economy in the world has established price floors for the labor market. In the market for unskilled labor, it is normally a binding price floor, while in the market for expert labor, it is usually a non-binding price floor. Minimum wage regulations provide a lower limit for wages, which establishes the price floors.
Supply and demand. Supply and demand is the model in economics that for determining price of products in a completely competitive market. It includes price controls, no externalities or taxes per unit. The particularly good price per unit is the price that equals the consumer's demanded quantity and the producer's supplied quantity. In general, quantity and price demand are oppositely connected in the market, meaning that the larger the price of a product offered, the lower people would want to buy. For instance, the price floor applies additional pressure to the consumers and the traders as they need to buy the products at a comparatively higher price instead of the equilibrium price. On the other hand, the representatives of supply that relate to each other are price quantity. The lower the goods price that can be sold, the less producers will supply. Generally, the increase in price will lead to the growth in supply and a drop in price leading to the supply's contraction. For example, the imposition of the price floor is guaranteeing the farmers that whatever they have produced will be sold in the market. This shows that the farmers can produce to their maximum.
In conclusion, the impact of a price floor on customer is simple to comprehend. Consumers never receive from the measure. In fact, they may be worse off or no different as a result of it. If the higher price compensates for the reduced selling price, producers benefit from the bound price floor. A binding price floor usually disadvantages consumers because they would rather pay more for a small quantity. I think that's all from us. Thank you.